Hey, we're on live.
Okay, we're live.
Dr. Fred DiDomenico with Elite Coaching. We have Jennifer Brandon with us because we're giving a seminar. Elite Coaching is giving a seminar in Denver. It's right in the middle, so there's no excuse. It's 2 hours from everywhere on a plane flight on June 4th, 5th. And what's the theme? Theme of our seminar? I don't know. What's the theme of our seminar? It's building a practice from the inside out, I think, or
that's right.
Like that. But more importantly than the theme is your title, and what you're talking about is fulfilling the principle in your practice with more kids.
That's right. More kids.
Hey, first of all, I want to say you spoke last time in Chicago for 3 hours. Man, people were going on and on and on. And I just want to say you brought so much inspiration and principle that lit people up inside, that I got so many testimonials of the doctors that attended that have seen more families than ever.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Thank you for that one, and we're doing it again.
That makes it worthwhile. I love that.
Yeah,
good.
Especially
traveling sucks, so it makes it worthwhile to know it's making a difference.
It is making a difference, and you always make a difference. So, hey, talk a little bit about this, fulfilling the principle in your practice with more kids. I mean, you just have had this drive, and I don't even know if it's more the principle, and that the principle really lives through children. So
it does, and to me, you're not really expressing what chiropractic is if you're not seeing kids and babies in your office, because they get subluxated at birth. They get subluxated in utero. So why would you wait more than 10 minutes to check a newborn? I tell my patients when they're pregnant that they need to have their babies checked within the first 12 hours. I don't want to wait longer than 12 hours. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't think any chiropractor would wait more than a couple hours to check their own babies for subluxation. So why would you want your patients to wait any longer?
You know what? That is so powerful. You know what? There's brilliance in simplicity. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a simple statement, but it has so much conviction, because really we have such a gift that we take for granted, and our kids are checked. Well, I haven't had a baby, but they are checked. And so,
right away, right?
We got to quit being doctors and be people and teach people how to live like we do. That's what you do.
Yeah, you have to do it that way, because the passion comes from the inside. So yeah, I start teaching my to-be pregnant patients, they're not even pregnant yet, that when they do get pregnant, that they're going to want to come in during their pregnancy. They're going to want to bring their baby in within the first 12 hours. I'm talking to them about getting pregnant before they even get pregnant, and how it's going to work. So, I'm planting those seeds immediately with them that, when you do get pregnant, this is how we're going to handle it.
That's so awesome. Hey, you know what? So, you said something that everybody knows is a fact, but there's a difference, because you had a massive practice. You've had a number of big practices. There's a difference between knowing something in your head and knowing it in your heart. And when you talk about purpose, you put your hands in front of your chest, obviously in your heart. So every chiropractor knows kids are subluxated from birth. The difference is what you just talked about. But if we could put some mass on this and make it a reality for people, I don't know if you can explain what you feel about that, maybe that responsibility, where rather than know it in your head, the responsibility that's in your heart. Can you talk about that?
To me, it's life or death, Fred. I mean, if I don't get an opportunity to check a newborn for subluxations, then you read about their death in the newspaper from crib death or something like that. I take that personal. I feel like I didn't reach that family. I didn't reach that group of people. I went and talked to a group this last week. They're called TOPS, which is taking off pounds sensibly. Even though they're getting together because they want to get more fit and lose weight, I'm talking to them about having babies. And some of them are way past having babies, but they have daughters, they have granddaughters, and they're going to get pregnant, and they need to know about subluxations caused from the birth process. So wherever I go to talk, I'm talking to them about subluxations from birth, because really that's where it starts. And so it doesn't matter to me whether they're 80 years old or whether they're 20 years old. They need to know that subluxations can start at that point. So that's how I really handle that. I start with it with every patient, so it doesn't really matter to me whether they're married, they're not married, whether they're old or whether they're young. All of them need to know that subluxations can be caused during the birth process, and likely are. So they'll start talking to their neighbors, their friends. They'll see a mom with a baby. They'll have a niece or a nephew that they know that, so they're pregnant, and they're going to start talking to them about chiropractic from birth. No. I mean, they'll say, I know this chiropractor, and she's talking about subluxations in babies. Maybe that's what's wrong with little Johnny who's crying all night long. Or maybe that's why he's just not growing the way he should be, or whatever. I start planting those seeds in their head so that every person that they meet in the community, they start thinking about that too.
Well, you know what I think the big difference is? As you're talking, my mind's going 100 miles an hour. And they go, I met this chiropractor lady, and she was kind of crazy, but she said this. You know what I mean? I remember when I first started coaching, there was this woman, she was a female chiropractor, really powerful, and she was seeing, 30 a day. And in 3 months, she went from 30 a day to 90 a day. And then she comes to me one day and she goes, when she broke 100, she goes, to be good at this, you have to be crazy. I'm like, exactly. You get it. That's you. Mm-hmm. You're the crazy person.
You do have to be, you know what, Fred, I don't think I ever shared this with you, but in chiropractic college, one of the teachers there told me, I'm probably halfway through, I think I was just, starting some of the student clinic, told me I was too radical and I would never make it unless I just calmed it down a bit. And I'm just thinking to myself, you gotta be kidding me. What we do, it is radical. It is crazy to the average person. What? You move bones and restore life, and the body heals itself from within. I mean, that's a crazy idea to most people. And so, you're right. You have to kind of approach it with, people already think you're nuts, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. So tell them they're right. I'm freaking crazy about chiropractic, man. And I'm crazy about you, and I'm crazy about your kids. That's why you're coming in right now.
That's right. So yeah, you're right. You can't worry about what other people think or how they're going to view what you say or whatever. You just go for it.
Exactly. Now remember, because we've done these talks. I'm trying to talk right now and spit out more than 2 words in a row. But there was one time on one of our previous interviews where I think it might have been for the last year, where you said, if you see somebody in a grocery store with a kid, you can't not go up to them. Mm-hmm. And so that's the responsibility level that, it's like you have to be so out of your comfort zone that there is no comfort zone or discomfort zone. It just is. And there's a person that needs you.
You know how, you talk about your intention sheet, doing that?
Yeah.
To me, at the top of my intention sheet is adjust everybody.
How cool is that?
I trust everybody. So, I'm always thinking about, you're my patient, but you just don't know it yet. You just haven't made it into the office yet. I haven't had the opportunity to put hands on you yet, but you're really my patient. You just don't know it yet.
That's so awesome.
So when I meet people, I'm already thinking in my head, you're my patient. And so, I think if you approach people with the idea already in your head that they're already your patient, it's almost like you treat them differently, you talk to them differently, you're already thinking about their whole family, you're thinking about their neighbors, but that's how my brain works. That's how I'm thinking.
That's how your heart works, Jennifer.
That's how my
your brain. That's how your
right here.
Right?
Right.
That's because you love humanity. Don't you think that's really the most important key to building a big practice? You just got to truly, emotionally love humanity, mm-hmm. and then love them so much that your mouth has to open in loving ways, mm-hmm. with a great message.
And I think a lot of it is looking at them as if they're worthwhile. You know, I mean, that's a really big thing. I think in this day and age, we almost look at people as you have worth and you don't have worth, or something weird like that. And it's almost like we have to retrain our brain in some ways to, really, really feel from the heart, like you're talking about, that every single person you meet has worth, and they really do deserve your attention, your time, your best adjustment, your most awesome words to encourage them. And I think lots of times we just get lazy. I do too. You know, I'm not going to share with that person. I'm just feeling, whatever, like you're saying in a grocery store or a bank, instead of charging right in there, realizing they already think you're crazy. It doesn't matter, just charge right in there and say, I noticed this. I think your baby needs chiropractic care, so I think if you already go in with the idea that they already are going to think you're nuts, you have really no limits. You just jump in. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I mean, whenever we talk, we can go on and on and on because we're old school philosophy, man. That, it's like we can go on for an hour, but really everything that everybody's watching this and listening to this, there were so many nuggets that just came out as casual one-liners. In this little interview alone, somebody could go out and double their practice. They just had the mindset, take the mindset of the things that were seemingly so small, but totally life-changing that you just said in this interview. And in Denver, June 4th and 5th, you're going to get a whole 2 hours of those. So, hey, you're always impactful with whatever you do. We're certainly really excited to have you there. And everybody just get there. And I will tell you, because of people like you, Jennifer, and you were a major contribution, over 60% of the people that went to Chicago semi-annual broke records, hit all-times high the first week they came back, and you were a big part of that. Over 60%. So if you want those kind of results, come and see Dr. Jennifer, all the other people, and keep your eye on these interviews. And let other people know, because it's going to be a world-class experience. So
good. All right, Fred. Thanks.
All right. I'll see you there.
Okay, good. Bye-bye.